Hi everybody, this is Boogess Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the Marvel Legends Spider-Ham figure. So before we take a look at Spider-Ham, let's take a look at the accessories that he comes with. So first up, he comes with the pork grind alternate head. Now this doesn't actually go on Spider-Ham, this is actually to make a separate character. This is actually meant to go to this, the Monster Venom series Venom figure. You're supposed to switch the heads with it. But what my plan is I'm going to get that Venom and then use my previous Venom just as a pork grind figure. Since they use the same body mold, the new one just, I think it's glossier or something. I don't know. But there, you can put this head on this body since it is the same. And that looks pretty good. And like I said, my plan is to just get that Venom and use that as my primary Venom and just leave this as a pork grind figure. So that's pretty awesome. I mean, this figure is really tiny, and at least Hasbro gave us basically another character with this alternate head. I don't know, at least it gave it something more in my opinion. I'll just leave pork grind back there. And Spider-Ham comes with the Monster Venom torso. And I must say, I love the paint detail on this. I like how it has that bluish, well, it's kind of like a navy color, like that navy hue to it, or maybe it's purple. Kind of looks like both to me. But anyways, here's the back of him. This is how it comes in the package. You have to snap it together here, and there's the torso all snapped together. So now I've officially started another Build-A-Figure. So that's the only other accessory that he comes with, so now we'll hop right into this review. So for the head sculpt on Spider-Ham, I think it looks accurate to what we see in the comics. I do think that his webbing should have been painted on though. I'm pretty sure that in the comics his webbing is painted on. I think that his webbing is black. Honestly, this kind of looks like one of those Play School hero figures. There's not a whole bunch of articulation, and there's no paint detail at all. I mean, you get the blue right here, and you get the red right here, but you can tell that the red was painted over the blue because it's darker. So, I am a bit let down by this figure, because you have to get him to get a main piece. So, you know. Like I said, there's really not much to go over with this figure. The spider symbol's painted on nicely. And there's the production stamp or whatever. Before I go over his articulation, he has a ball-jointed waist, but whenever you turn it, it looks terrible. Like you get this huge gap, this really, really ugly gap. And like if you turn him to the side there, you know, in movies, like when someone gets cut in half and they slide apart slowly, that's what it looks like is happening to Spider-Ham. He looks like he's been cut in half, and he's just sliding apart slowly. So yeah, if you try to move this figure's waist, it's going to look like someone cut him in half. Especially if you do that, he looks like, again, someone cut him in half. So yeah, that's pretty disappointing. I think I would have just rather had a swivel waist, like Rocket Raccoon. Rocket Raccoon was small, but still had a good amount of articulation. I mean, he didn't have a lot, but he was still a really good figure that kept some articulation. Like, I'll show it side by side right now. Like, he had swivel waist, he had ball-jointed shoulders, he had double swivel, or he had a swivel at the elbow, and swivel at the glove right there. And he had ball-jointed and swivel head. This is a Rocket Build-A-Figure. And then he had ball-jointed tail. So even though this Build-A-Figure was very small, they managed to incorporate some pretty good articulation into it. I can't say the same for Spider-Ham. So let's go ahead and move on to the articulation. He's got a ball-jointed head that can't look back at all. It'll just look forward. It looks down all the way. He can move his head side to side. He has ball-jointed shoulders that can move out that far. He has single-jointed elbows. It's also on a swivel there. He has swivel at the wrist. He has a ball-jointed waist that looks completely terrible when you move it. Really bad. And then, I also got a little bit of paint scuffage on mine from moving it. And then he has swivel with the... I can't tell if this is his boot. Or, I mean, like, is this his shin or his knee? Because it kind of looks like his knee. Anyways, he has swivel at the boot right there. They can just move side to side. So, you know, also another thing is, if you look right here, you can only keep his hands a certain way or you get this weird, like, extra piece of plastic right here. It looks really weird, unless you have it posed the way it should be. So in all honesty, like with this figure, if you move the hand, it's going to look really weird right there. So you're supposed to kind of just leave it like that. So it's kind of just battle posed. It's pre-posed for you, and you really can't get him into any great poses. So now let's do some size comparisons. Lost my train of thought there for a second. So there Spider-Ham is next to Spider-Man. And as far as I know, Spider-Man's back to his classic costume, so I'm going to have to work on getting either the Hobgoblin Wave Spider-Man or the Retro Wave Spider-Man. Here he is next to another Spider-Verse character, Gwenpool. They had some articulation. They had some interactions in Secret Wars. Was it Spider-Verse? Or Web Warriors, Secret Wars. Whatever the Spider-Man miniseries was for Secret Wars, they had some interactions in it. And then finally, well, here he is next to Pork Grind. And Pork Grind is way taller than him. And finally, here he is next to another small figure, Rocket Raccoon. And I have to say, I think this figure is done a lot better. Like, there's even lots of great sculpting detail. Like, I know that Hasbro couldn't incorporate, like, any articulation in the legs here, but to me, Hasbro could have just integrated that into this. Like, they could have at least painted the webbing on. That would have been really good. So, yeah. I'm kind of divided here. Like, I kind of like it for my Spider-Verse characters, but in all honesty, I don't think it's worth $20. I mean, you kind of have to get it for the Build-A-Figure piece, which is kind of sucky. But, like I said, I guess at least you get another head with the figure. I don't know if I would have preferred another minifigure or that head. I think probably another minifigure, actually. So, yeah, I'll leave the decision up to you on whether or not you want to purchase this figure. So, that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.